All right, it's Saturday. It's the second weekend in April 2024. It's the first cruise that me and Marty are having for the year, and because we canceled last week because it was raining. It's a decent day out, pretty windy. So I was gonna take the Electra, but you know, same shit, different day. And now, because the Electra's down, don't really feel like taking the Skylar because I drive it all the time. A little too cold for the Trans Am. It's got absolutely no heat. We are gonna take John's truck. It's been a little bit since I've driven this thing to anything but the mechanic shop. Could take the Mustang, but I just feel bad for the car. I don't drive it at all, and I don't want to drive it because I never really trust it all the time. So John's truck it is. All right, got my key. I'm calling it right now. Three pumps. It fires up and idles. Don't even need to hold the gas. Neutral. Ooh, maybe I do need to give it a little gas. Make me a liar. There we go, we're idling.
You're stupid enough to walk up to the quarter panel. They wouldn't even let us fucking come down the house. Come back to Maple.
You're talking about? Oh, those takeovers?
Yeah.
All right.
Watch them get run over.
We're out here at Summerdale again.
What?
Right here at Summerdale again.
Yeah. I put that camera on my face. I don't want to be seen on camera.
First, not a cruise because not many people show up yet. But what can you do?
That's all that matters. We're hanging out.
I think this is the first time I've seen Dave out here. I've seen Dave out here. This is Israel. I never had it on camera before. Am I spoiling any secrets here?
Just filth.
Dirty ass engine. Got a 4-speed. Look at all that peel. What'd you paint it with? House paint?
Oh, engine paint. It sits outside. Maybe
Nah.
the wheel wells are all powder coated. The arms and frame, that's all powder coated. Looked nice when it was all
We've been working on it recently.
Huh?
We've been working on. Aren't you working on something the other day?
Yeah.
The are you working on the power steering and the?
Steering, I put tailpipes on the car.
That's right.
All right, pretty good turnout. What do you think? Half dozen random showed up.
He gets mad when I do that mime stuff.
Shut up. We had a couple random show up. You know, spread the word.
Fender flash on that car. When you get the signal on, I never knew it flashed. Which one was that? Where the flag marker?
Yeah, we're all splitting. That's a good turnout.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
A couple new guys. Get them in the group. They're gonna let their buddies know. Maybe here coming up these next couple months, we can actually start getting enough people out here to start cruising. What do you think, Chris? Good turnout?
Hopefully the next one will be better. Hopefully the weather will be better.
Yeah. I don't understand how Mike can't like that car. I'd be running the shit out of it like you run that Mustang. right now is a long episode of me explaining total bullshit. So I had the similar problem, almost identical problem on the Skylark on Monday. And now I go to start this thing up, take it to the cruise, and thing's cranking pretty slow, and then it just stops cranking. What the fuck? So I walk out to pop the hood, and as soon as I get to about here, a cloud of smoke starts rolling out from under the hood. I hit the latch, and luckily I keep the terminal relatively loose, and I ripped that off. But this wire, so this is one of two wires that runs into the starter that hits the fuse box. This one right here. The other one's right over. The other one's right here. Well, a little while ago, there was a pretty crappy connection up the wire by the header, and it failed. And I'd lose power randomly, so I just ran it straight to the battery. Well, what happened here? The wire fucking started melting. It's fried. So I pulled all this sheathing back, all the way back to here, and it's fine back to here. Well, about when you get to here, there's this fucking mess. Like, what the fuck is that? That looks like the two wires that came up from the starter, and they're like, that's not a crimp connection. That just looks like a piece of metal that's folded over, and it's just connecting, and then it goes to three wires for some reason. I think these two are the fuse box. I don't know where this wire is going. I gotta trace that out. But that is what I think started burning and just fried this whole wire. So yeah, I gotta redo this whole wire. And this time I'm probably gonna pull up the other wire from the starter and attach both with a fusible link to here, because I'd rather that blow than all the electronics in the car. That's what I'm dealing with now. And here's where I tell the story on the Skylark. So last Monday, I was leaving to Marty's. Or no, Sunday I was leaving Marty's in the Skylark, dropping them off. Got a quarter mile, half mile down the road, hair pop, generator light comes on. I'm like, well, I just lost the belt. So I coasted down the road into the boat ramp, and Marty had just left his keys at Austin's house, so he didn't have keys to run down to me. So my dad came out, picked up some belts from Marty's, drove down to my house. Of course, none of them fit, even though he gave me like 85 of them. I was able to get one that just barely put a little bit of tension on it when you ran the alternator way past its adjustment, but I was able to limp it to Marty's. Next day, we go to AutoZone, get a belt, and I can explain it here. Get the belt, and the belt was too short somehow. I don't know what the hell, but it was. So I had to take the alternator and crank it all the way down towards the water pump to just barely slip the belt on, and it would just barely get to the end of the adjuster. Well, the problem is, when I cranked the thing down, I had to crank it down with a pry bar, and those same two wires, the main two wires that go to the fuse box, they run down the front of the intake, down here, and back to the block. Well, they got pinched between the block and the alternator and started burning. So I was able to rip it back, pull the battery cable off, and I seen one was totally pinched off, and the other had the sheathing undone on it. Like it had a crack in the sheathing. So I cut both, put two butt connectors on it, and then went to fire the car up. Had no power, so I had to go down to the starter. Found a fusible link was blown on the starter. Typical. Just to get it by, I put a butt connector on the end of the wire, or not butt, a eyelet connector to get it on the starter. Marty only had one. Run up to the AutoZone, run back. It's the wrong size. I had to hog it out with a drill, and then I could get it on. So now, currently, this car has no fusible link, and this car has no fusible link. And they're also the two cars that like to burn shit in the electrical system. So I have to fix that car. I'm gonna do the same that I'm doing here. Pull both wires up. Well, when I get the new motor going in, I'm gonna pull all the wiring apart, all the sheathing off, because I gotta run the AC compressor and other wiring, move it around. So I'm gonna run all the wiring. I'm gonna take the wires down to the starter, run them to the battery through a fusible link, and then this, I'm gonna pull that other wire up, replace this wire, replace that fuck show, and run them both to the battery with a fusible link.